All right, so a movie that you and I saw together last week.
Yeah.
Star Trek Beyond. Okay. First of all, what did you think of Star Trek Beyond?
I loved
Chris?
it.
I absolutely loved it as
Yeah.
well. And I'm glad that we can finally agree on something. Have you seen the first two?
Yeah.
Of the rebooted universe.
The Star Trek 09 and then
Into Darkness.
Okay.
Yeah. How into Star Trek are you apart from those movies? Did you grow up watching the show at all? Or?
No, never watched the original, the 69 series.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I've seen probably a handful of those episodes,
Okay.
In my nearly 30 years on this planet. So I've seen a couple of the originals. I've seen the first, second, third, and I think bits and pieces of 4, 5, and all of the sixth movie, because sixth is Generations, the Kirk and Picard crossover one.
I can't. So when they stopped numbering them, I get lost. Okay, so I'm like, which one is Generations? Which one's First Contact?
Yeah.
Which one was Insurrection? Which one was the other one?
Nemesis. What's the other?
Nemesis. That's right. Okay, so I was raised by Trekkies, Trekkers, whatever they want to be called.
Yeah.
Okay. Mom really into Star Trek. Okay. I watched the original series with my mother and father. I watched the animated series. It used to be on Nickelodeon, of all places. So I grew up with Star Trek, being very aware of the original cast. When The Next Generation started, that was like an event in my household. Okay. And pretty much I believe it was Thursday night, we watched Star Trek, The Next Generation. So, I mean, I watched every episode of The Next Generation as it aired throughout the entire run of the series.
Nice.
Okay. Deep Space Nine, watched week to week, almost the entire run of that series. Voyager, week to week, probably the first 2 or 3 seasons. Enterprise, just a handful of episodes. Okay. So, and then as far as the movies go, we had a lot of them on VHS, a lot of the old school ones. Wrath of Khan and actually The Voyage Home are probably my 2 favorite as a kid, because I liked that they went back in time and to like modern day Earth. Okay. And then, once I kind of got older, watching Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, all those movies in the movie theater. Okay. So that's where I'm coming from on this. So Star Trek reboot, I liked it. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was good. I thought the casting was pretty spot on. Particularly Carl Urban as Dr. McCoy. Okay. Into Darkness. I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep.
I like Sherlock. I audibly groaned, though, when he said his name was Khan.
Because they were trying to hide it.
Exactly.
For the whole time.
And I hated the way they just recreated the ending of Wrath of Khan for this one, but switched the roles of Spock and Kirk. I want new stories. I don't want the same stories retold.
And that kind of brings us then to Beyond.
Beyond, which is a new story. Which is more of an homage to the original series than any Star Trek movie that has been put out since. Okay? It was like an episode of Star Trek. All right. Obviously, with a higher budget, it focused more on the rest of the crew than just Kirk and Spock. And, it felt like more of a Star Trek movie than the other two. Yeah. Okay. I have a problem with Leonard Nimoy being in these movies. Okay. I understand their reasoning behind the need to have him in the first reboot. Okay.
Yeah, because it's the entire reason
where they're like, we're rebooting it, but the original series and the original movies are still canon, but this is an alternate timeline kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. So I understand that they wanted to do that. I still didn't like it in the first movie. I absolutely hated it in the second movie. because Spock just like, well, I'm going to call up future me and ask him about this Khan dude. And I'm just like, that is just shit storytelling. And I deserve better as an audience member and as a fan of Star Trek than this.
Yeah.
Okay. And Leonard Nimoy passed away. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy.
Of course.
All right. They still had to bring him up in this one, which I was just like, can we not get away from that? All right.
Well, I mean, now we will.
Now we will.
Yeah.
I did kind of tear up a little bit, get a little misty-eyed whenever they did show the picture of the original crew.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I still don't think it was that necessary. I mean, it was more playing on that nostalgia thing, but I want them to be able to go into their own direction. I want them to be able to make Star Trek movies and have them exist without constantly reminding us that, hey, this other timeline exists. Hey, you know, but at the same time, okay, so we've shown Leonard Nimoy's face in 3 freaking movies in this reboot, but we can't give William Shatner any kind of cameo.
Not even a cameo.
Not even a cameo. Not even have him play some aging general or ambassador or an alien or a voiceover or anything. And he was actually pretty upset when the first one came out that he wasn't involved in it at all.
Right?
You know? So I just think, it's like, come on, man, you're doing him a little bit of an injustice. It's freaking William Shatner.
Yeah.
Who's arguably more popular than Leonard Nimoy.
Arguably.
I would say amongst the Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
The fandom. He is. But let's talk about the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, Beastie Boys, again, 3 movies in a row.
And the same song.
Yeah.
Every time.
Why have they not used Intergalactic? If you're going to use any... Okay, first of all, Sabotage was great in the context of how they used it because
this
one did sabotage the thing.
Absolutely super accurate.
But if you're going to use Beastie Boys, if that's going to be a thing in the new Star Trek universe, why are you not using Intergalactic? The song is called Intergalactic. It's Star Trek. It's set in space.
Maybe they feel like it would be too on the nose.
I don't care. They totally missed a great opportunity with the Beastie Boys, which, and this is completely off subject, Now You See Me, that movie, they put out a sequel called Now You See Me 2.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it subtitled Now You See Me 2, Now You Don't?
No one has
just like,
your...
come on, that's so... Why
Clearly no one has your marketing genius.
I guess not. But anyway, okay, so... high points of Star Trek Beyond. All right. Scotty.
Yeah.
Okay. The relationship between Spock and Dr. McCoy was great.
Very good in this one.
I'm glad that they broke Spock and Uhura up.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid that they're foreshadowing them getting back together. But I totally understand Spock's motivation to do so. Hey, I'm one of the last Vulcans. I need to be fucking some Vulcan chicks and propagate my species, even though he's half human.
Yeah.
But,
still polluting the bloodlines.
Whatever. But the more Vulcans he fucks, less human will be in it. Chris Pine embodies Kirk more and more with each movie.
Yeah, okay? I feel like that's very accurate.
Very sad that Anton Yelchin is no longer with us. I really liked him as Chekhov. And apparently, any movies that they make in the series, they're not going to recast him. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to write his character out, and probably be like an off-screen death, or something like that. Sulu is gay now, okay, which George Takei actually has a problem with,
right? Because
he's like, this isn't with the spirit of the character. And a lot of people were surprised that he was like, no, I don't appreciate the fact that he's gay. And I think the makers of the movie wanted to do that to kind of pay homage to George Takei. But at the same time, he was like, no, that's not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like that George Takei's reasoning behind it was that when he was playing the role in the late 60s, he played it as a straight man.
Right.
So, I mean, because that character then was written to be straight.
Yeah.
And so Takei feels like it's not conducive to going along with the original intent.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you can't blame him, because he's just acting on how the original show was written.
Right.
But I also read Simon Pegg's response to George Takei.
I didn't. I wasn't aware there was a response.
Yeah, no, it was very nice, very cordial, and he, of course, accepted Takei's reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
He just disagreed with it, respectfully disagreed. And I thought that's probably the best way to respond to this, because it was not an obtrusive or antagonizingly offensive to people who are homophobic or anything. It was just there. It was just a thing, and it wasn't really talked about at all. It was just, this is how it is.
Right.
And there's no judgment placed on it.
And honestly, I really don't care about the sexuality of Sulu. I mean, really, the only character's sexuality that I care about is going to be Kirk, because Kirk fucks.
Yeah.
Chicks.
Yeah.
Of all different species.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Kirk fucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And you can't have Kirk without that aspect.
Yeah.
Which he didn't do in this movie. He didn't fuck anybody,
really
did
didn't.
he?
I honestly thought, maybe he would
him
bang
hooking
Jayla,
up with Jayla. Actually, if anybody was going to hook up with Jayla, I think it would have been Scotty.
Yeah.
But I want to see more of Jayla. I liked her. She's hot, and maybe I kind of have a fetish for Jayla. Who knows? I don't know. But overall, would you recommend Star Trek Beyond?
Absolutely.
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 Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. All right, so we're going to move on.